All right, and now to the report that Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy may be ready to step down after nearly 30 years. Who is 80 years old, was appointed by President Reagan and has been on the court since 1988. He is considered the court's pivotal swing vote, and part of his legacy is the newest justice, Neil Gorsuch, who was one of his clerks. Our chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl, has more on all of this. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Amy. Predicting a Supreme Court vacancy is tricky business. Justices tend to be extremely secretive about their plans until they actually announce them. But we noticed quite a hint in a small Iowa newspaper. The Muscatine Journal interviewed Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa, who told the paper, "I would expect a resignation this summer." So why is that significant? Well, Chuck Grassley is the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee. That's the committee that would hold the hearings on President Trump's next nominee. If there is anybody in Congress who would know about such things, it is Chuck Grassley. And more than that, Amy, this is consistent with what I have been hearing in conservative legal circles for weeks. That Justice Kennedy has been telling friends and colleagues that he intends to retire this year, possibly after the current term of the Supreme Court is up on June 30th.
All right, so let's talk about that potential confirmation process. The president considered Gorsuch to be a shoo-in for the Supreme Court, but we all know that ended up with Senate Republicans resorting to that nuclear option, changing the rules to get him confirmed. So how does that affect how another vacancy would be filled?
Well, the nuclear option has been exercised. That means the rules are changed. So the next justice would also require only 51 votes. There are 52 Republicans. They have the votes to do this. But, Amy, replacing Justice Scalia with Gorsuch did not alter the balance of power on the court. There are now 4 conservatives, there are 4 liberals, and right in the middle as the swing vote in many, many cases is Justice Kennedy. So that means replacing him with a solid conservative could significantly, decisively alter the balance of power on the Supreme Court. I expect that the next confirmation battle will be a much bigger, more high-profile fight, even with that nuclear option exercised.
All right, Jonathan Karl, we appreciate it. Thank you. Michael.
All right, Amy, now to the investigation.